Welcome to Actions, Not Words, Our Voices, Our Paths. At Rosemont College, we are blessed with a mission and values rooted in the life and teachings of Cornelia Conley and exemplified by the Society of the Holy Child Jesus. Our Centennial Project team was honored to talk with 9 alumni about how their experience as part of Rosemont's joyful learning community supported them in finding their voice and shaped their chosen path in life. Please join me in listening to our conversation with Raveen James, class of 2008.
Foster joy in learning for me, it was I think the classroom size was critical to me. Having a smaller classroom and not lecture style with maybe 1,000 students, and it was extremely helpful for me. And for me, in speaking with the professors, it was more of a one-on-one conversation with the education at Rosemont. I still talk about Rosemont today with other friends and family and collegiate members of within my career. As far as learning and groups and that nature and continued learning in my career, I actually like positions that challenge mindset and growth. That's my foundation of that Christian value and those different type of missions in regards to Christianity, the foundation and what you should be as a person as a whole. As I go out through my adult life, I have working and I'm going to speak to Beautiful Blessings in particular, met children and women who didn't have that structure. And it was important for me to share that through dolls, through my lifestyle, and through any other method as far as education or books, things that I have shared with over the years to help other individuals grow. I think a relationship for me and personally, I'm going to speak to me personally, that foundation of having a relationship with God is truly strengthening. That is my core. If it was not for God, where would I be? And that's what I want to bring to the world. And that's how I try to bring it through products that are forthcoming through Beautiful Blessings. Working with women and girls in particular, there would be cancer survivors that say, oh, well, I lost my hair, or I don't have eyebrows, or, I don't, unfortunately, women who have had to lose breasts because of cancer, and I wanted to, especially for those type of women, state that beauty comes from within. It's not your external. That's just an attribute of who you are. But your character is the core of who you are as a person, and what you bring to the world as a whole is that's beautiful. So many, and in our society, we focus beauty on hair, clothes, nails, things that are truly, and especially dealing with this pandemic, that is not that important. I'm not saying that it doesn't, every woman wants to have a feeling of beauty and sense of who they are. But I think character is a core defining attribute of a person. So if you are a cancer survivor or someone who has battled that disease, and even the ones who've gone on to glory, that's a huge accomplishment. In my opinion, that's a huge accomplishment. To that shows dignity, that shows strength, that shows character. It's not easy. It's not an easy disease. So I like to really, have girls and women look at who they are as a person versus just their attributes of hair, skin, nails, and things of that nature. My professors were so kind when I was in college. They had the spirit of, they wanted you to succeed, and they helped you along, and they helped you pick, like I remember picking out classes and talking to advisors, and this is where my career is, and these are the things that I'm looking to do in the future. And that relationship building, even not just with my Rosemont professors, but I call them my sisters of Rosemont, was also core. That's a core of who I am as a person, and I have such a great love for women and girls, and wanting them to be successful, and wanting to be an instrument of showing them what success could potentially look like if you put forth the work. I remember one class in particular, and I am really grateful for because I do global development and drug development, was my classes, even though they touched on science, but it was more so culture. What has helped me is surprisingly the international piece. I work with studies, when I say everywhere, Europe, Asia, Australia, Middle East, everywhere. So that cultural development and understanding the different cultures and the different ways. And even another class that I will never forget was a religious studies class that I've taken in my previous years, in understanding how to form relationships and form that bonding as I'm doing pharmaceutical development with all these different countries and nations and things of that nature. That became very fruitful. I think Christian Foundation does position you differently when you're in a professional atmosphere. That and I can speak to that in dealing and looking and thinking about my relationships, and then trying to exhibit, not just talk, but in walk, what that means to be a Christian. It's definitely helped me. It's helped me with not just overcoming challenges and trials, but growing. It's the camaraderie, when you're talking about students and professors at Rosemont, they help you progress. It's not, being in a lecture room with 10,000 other people and you're just a number. You really get identity as you go through the courses and the classes with the professors at Rosemont. If there was any seed planted in me from Rosemont in regards to Beautiful Blessings and wanting to promote that. And the fact that I had sisters from every culture. And Beautiful Blessings is a doll collection that will represent every culture. I think that's critical in society today, to have awareness, cultural awareness and cultural differences, and respecting those differences and not casting anyone out per se. I would have Muslim representation, Catholics. I myself at that time was Baptist. So, and it was just nice just to have a conversation. People, I think in the world, we get so judgmental when it comes to religious backgrounds, and you never get to understand or know the individual and the person. And going through with my background, and because I've always attended Catholic institutions in both elementary, high school, and college, learning about the catechism, learning about the King James Bible, learning about the Quran and all those different texts throughout those different religions, is that the path may have been different, but we all end up in the same place. And that was critical, to get to know a person and understand who they are. You'll and really, and that's a different mindset. And I think I gained that mindset because of my foundation from my college and my high school. Get to know the person before judging a person, and get to know about them. And again, that plays a piece in character. One of the best things about Rosemont for me is the different cultures, and that level of education, of learning about people and having friends who don't look like you, or friends who don't go to the same religious institution as you do, but you can still be friends and still have something in common. I think that's a foundation that I wish the entire world could have. I've had professors that really embodied getting to know individuals, and embodied a culture of just caring about people, regardless of what you look like, who you are, your background. My time at Rosemont was great. I never had any issues. And it's funny because I was just in Philly, as I said, for my son's commencement, and I rode past the college, and I always point, there's my school.